Hi, guys. Welcome back to our WorkFriends review show. We are here for episode 5 of Delilah entitled No Good Deed. I'm here with my good friend Chris, and let's jump right into this review. So, how were you feeling about episode 5 of Delilah?
I thought it was good, but man, I kind of got a little frustrated with Delilah.
I agree. This episode, she became very unlikable.
Right? Like I don't know. She's just so maybe angry. Is that what it is? Like just
I don't know. It's not even that. It seems like she's a person that holds on to things.
mm,
And it's very annoying because either you're going to get over it and move forward, or you just need to cut these people out your life altogether. But
mm.
walking around being angry at people and still needing them is annoying. And she did it with every single person in her life this episode.
Yes.
And it just really ticked me off.
Mm-hmm.
So the episode starts off where episode 4 left off, which is Layla called her because was breaking into her house.
Mm.
So this episode picks up with Delilah being at Layla's house, and everything's all over the place.
Can
Everything.
we just agree not to go in the house whenever the door is open just a little bit? Let's wait for the police or somebody else with you. Don't go in there by yourself.
I agree, and also, but Layla.
Yeah.
I think is her name Layla or Leah?
Leah, man.
Leah. She's kind of been a little dumb, little ditzy from day one.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't really see it for her character either. Like, why did you go in the house? Was you trying to like tussle with the person? But it was clear that I don't think they wanted to hurt her. They wanted that laptop and that cell phone,
Mm-hmm.
which to me means like it's definitely has something to do with the case, which we knew.
Yeah.
But we find out that Tamara called her
Mm-hmm.
and wanted to meet with her to about the case, basically trying to get her to settle. Also seems like get a little information out of her,
Mm-hmm.
and basically telling her, hey, we'll probably have one more settlement offer for you. And Layla thinks that Tamara only set up that meeting to get her out of the house,
Mm-hmm.
which honestly,
I just
if she,
don't feel like that's Tamara's style.
I don't, it would, I think that the bosses probably knew she set up that meeting,
Mm.
and that the bosses probably had her house robbed, Layla's house robbed, when they knew she was going to be out of the house
Right.
with
That's more,
Tamara.
yeah, that is definitely more plausible because we've
But
already seen what they do.
I don't think Tamara would do anything like that.
No.
I don't think Tamara intentionally set her up to be robbed.
Right, exactly.
But
Because she likes to go by the book. Like she knows she's a good attorney. So she likes to do, I got this, but they ain't letting her handle it.
you can tell that Delilah thinks very little of her friend,
And it's supposed to be
because
her best friend
her
too.
best friend since childhood.
Since 23,
Cause she took
what,
her
22?
behind right over there to that apartment to ask her if she needed. I would have walked off on her.
Oh, right. Because Delilah just, it seems like she's getting worse and worse with each episode, just
It's just
treating her like
overstep
trash.
after overstep after overstep. Like, you mix in personal with this case, and it was just too much, and it wasn't okay. Like, I was on Tamara's side,
Yes,
definitely. Like, you doing too
agreed.
much. But Tamara still invites her, like, hey, are we still having lunch?
Because she's
Cause
a good
you
friend.
cause you're still my maid of honor despite how you acting. And of course Delilah says yes, because I don't think Delilah dislikes her or anything. It's just she's going too far. Like she's letting this case get to her. I
Yeah.
think especially because her brother is involved.
Mm-hmm.
But so right after that, the baby daddy is back. So Delilah's ex-husband is there with his girlfriend slash former student,
Slash mistress.
and basically she's about to move or needs to move and wants to move in with him.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs to have a conversation with Delilah about his girlfriend moving in. And I knew that wasn't gonna go well.
At all.
So the next thing you see is Nate, and he's trying to set up, like, spend some time with his wife, and
He's
she in the
really trying. Oh.
really trying. He really
Mm.
loves her, and you see she's in the bed with Nate. And it's just shady and trifling, and it pissed me
All
off.
around. Yeah.
I didn't like it. And then Delilah goes to see her dad, and we learned that dad is the chief of police. Well, we learned during the break-in that dad was the chief of police. When the police officers, like, cause she was talking to the police officers crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and when they was like, the white one was like, "Who are you?" And the black officer was like, "Connolly," as in Chief Connolly, like is in
Watch your
our
tone.
boss's daughter, so you need to calm it all the way down. So despite her not liking her dad, she needs his help, which is the part of her that I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's
She's kind of
angry
the
with these
user.
people, but yeah, she's coming off as a user. Either you like these people or you don't. Like you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
use your best friend, getting information out of her for a case when she's on the opposing counsel, and
Right.
you're like expecting her to hand you over a case like she doesn't have a job to do. You
Right.
don't like your daddy. You've been hard on your daddy since episode 1, yet you come
Mm-hmm.
to him needing him with an attitude,
A big
right?
attitude.
It just didn't make any sense. But he tells her, like, how did you get these papers anyway? If this is evidence, you need to turn this in. And she
Mm-hmm.
just kind of ignores him, kind of doesn't reply or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see,
Like usual.
like usual, and then you see her sitting down, drinking wine, playing cards with her homie that does her private investigator work, and he's kind of getting her together.
As
Like,
he
and I
should.
like him.
Somebody need to.
I like him because he's like, listen, you only got one dad. And then he kind of gives a little backstory because he's like, that even though your dad left and then your mom died, he did not cause your mom to die.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of get a little backstory of why she's upset. She's upset because her dad left her mom and then her mom died, and she's kind of blaming
Mm-hmm.
the dad for it. But it seems like she's probably doing the most.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
it's
you,
just a lot of misdirected anger. Ugh.
yeah, a lot of misdirected anger with everybody in her life again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then Tamara, being a good friend,
As always.
goes to ask her boss, "Did you have anything to do with this?"
Again, because
Putting
that's what
her
Tamara
job
does.
on the line, putting her case on the line for Delilah.
Yes.
And yet Delilah still has a bad attitude. So,
Right. And still just like it ain't enough. It ain't enough. Like I just it's really hard for me to like Delilah right now. And I'm trying. Because I
and
know
then
she
you,
just got a lot going on, but still. Oh.
yeah, she just came off really unlikable in this episode, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest. But the show's still good. It's
It
just,
is.
girl, you been annoying. And then you see Nate, he wants to get ready for his date. The man sleeping with his wife is there trying to
Mm-hmm.
help, like he not sleeping with his wife. And
That's so insulting. Oh my
it's so
gosh.
insulting. And something about Nate makes me want to hug him.
Yes. Yes, because it's just like he keeps trying. He's doing the best he can, trying to adjust to his new life, and oh, and it's just like, mm, he's
So
just doing the best he can.
he's doing the best he can. And it's really sad because nobody asked to be shot. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
no, no, well, he wasn't shot, but nobody asked to be injured when they're in the military. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
accidents happen, and it's unfortunate that that happened to him, but it's not something that he asked for. So it's just, I don't know. I have a lot of sympathy for him, and I just feel
Mhm.
like he's in a shitty situation with a scandalous wife
Agree.
who still can't get her baby, by the way.
She don't want that baby.
Exactly. And Delilah better than me. I'm just playing. I would take care of my nephew too.
Yeah.
But girl, you gonna run me some money or something.
Right. Especially if you just gonna be laying up with this dude. Like,
I'm
what
gonna
is
get
he
full
contributing
custody and put you
anything?
on child support or something.
Yeah,
Like you
something.
doing too much, doing too you
Bringing my
taking
brother
advantage of
along
me
and
to
you
the
ain't taking my
extreme.
nephew. Yeah.
And so Delilah and Tamara go to dinners. It's supposed to be a wedding dinner, like for
Oh,
just you're my maid
talk
of
about
honor.
wedding.
Let's talk
Mm-hmm.
about my wedding stuff. And Delilah has bad attitude,
Yep.
and she starts laying into Tamara about the case and
Again.
asking Tamara questions. Did you ask your boss this? Did you ask the senior boss this? And Tamara lies because she didn't ask the senior boss. She didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Delilah knew she was
Mm.
lying.
At this
um,
point, it's like, Delilah, you better take whatever you can get because she's done more than enough.
I feel
Like,
like
you
she's
pretty much
done
just
more
want
than enough
her to help
too.
her beat you, or she's pretty much wants her help in beating her. And I'm just like, that ain't how it works. She still has a job.
But she gets so frustrated that she
Mm-hmm.
leaves. She's like, listen, you got, was it 24 hours to call me and apologize?
Mm-hmm.
And so the dad does end up, well, actually, I don't want to miss this part because it really annoyed me to my core. The baby daddy. The baby daddy come by the house to talk. Well, let's talk about this first because this actually happened next. Nate is having the dinner with his wife. And it was actually really nice. It was you can tell it was really romantic. He talks about wanting to take her to Niagara Falls. She asked him if he can even do that, and he was like, "Yeah, I checked. It's wheelchair accessible and everything." And she basically admits to him that this is not what she wants.
I'm glad she finally did it. Cause it's just my heart was just bleeding for Nate.
It was, but she needs to move out his house with that man.
I
That
agree.
is his house. She needs to
Yep.
get out. You don't have my child. It's no reason for you to be in that
At
house.
all.
But it definitely broke my heart, and I felt really bad for Nate.
Hmm.
So after that is when we get to the baby daddy at the house. The daughter says she wants to forego her senior year in high school to go to this music school and she'll graduate later. He does the right thing in saying you gotta ask your mama. Like, yeah, but you gotta ask your mama. But then he goes to meet with her about the girlfriend moving in. And Delilah lays into him like that was your student that you were sleeping with while you were married to me, basically.
Hmm.
Only 10 years older than your daughter. Like she lays into him really hard. But I'm gonna be honest, she was out of line.
You think so?
I do think so. You cannot dictate what somebody does after divorce.
Oh, very true.
If that woman is not a threat to your children, if she's not going to cause any harm to your children, then you don't have a right to be like, she my kids can't come over there while they over there.
Mhm.
while she's over there. Like you're doing more harm than good, keeping your
Yeah.
kids away from their dad because you don't like the person that he's with now.
Mhm.
Despite her being a student, she was a grown woman.
Mhm.
He lost the job because of that. So it's not even like he's doing that job anymore. And as long as she is not a threat to the kids or will do any harm to the kids, them going over there every other weekend is not gonna hurt them kids. It
Yeah,
ain't
and
gonna
they're
hurt
already old
nobody but
enough.
yeah, it ain't gonna hurt nobody but Delilah feelings.
And I think that's what it majority it is. Just she still ain't over, like, because what he did was foul, but
It
I
was
don't think
foul.
he
And I'm
over it.
not saying it would be easy. Like
Mhm.
it would definitely be hard for me too. But I just think you cannot dictate what someone does with like their kids on their time. Like
Mhm.
you can't tell that man who he can have living in his house if it's
Right.
not a harm to the kids.
Yeah. I think she's just trying to control too much.
She's trying to control too much, and again, just like with everybody else, she's honestly doing too much.
Mhm.
And so I hate to say it, but I was a little teen baby daddy. He tried to come to her in a very mature way, but she's still hurt.
Mhm.
But she has to let that hurt go.
Agree.
So the
But
father
I do like a
is
good dressing down, so I can't
yeah, she read him for filth. She really did.
for filth.
So the dad is asking around about the case, who this I guess lieutenant was that signed the different paperwork. He's basically being told, "Hey, you need to let this go. Your daughter needs to let this go."
Mhm. That's where it's like it's the upper people who don't have names, any kind of classifications, don't carry no kind of badge. Those are the people that like to disappear and can make you disappear.
Exactly. And then you get to see both ends of the spectrum, right? So you have Tamara with her fiance, and her fiance being like, "You need to call Delilah. Like,
Hmm.
this is ridiculous. That's your best friend. Call her." And Tamara being like, "No, she needs to call me."
I
And
agree.
and then you have Delilah with her friend, the PI, and him being like, "Girl, just call Tamara. Like, you doing
Yeah.
the most. You need to call
Hmm.
her." And Delilah was unnecessarily angry when he picked up the phone like he was gonna call Tamara. She she turned into like a little demon.
Girl, she been a demon this whole episode.
I was like, "Ooh, that was
She just add
unnecessary anger."
a little gasoline to it. That's all.
But she does end up calling her, and I like that. Like, that's what she needed to do.
Uh, but I just feel like not if she's gonna keep on treating her like that. Don't call me if you just gonna, apologize and we try to smooth things over. Then the next day or so you back at my throat. I'm just trying to be happy. I'm newly engaged. I'm trying to enjoy that phase. Like, girl, get it together. But don't use me as your punching bag. I feel that's why I feel like maybe the call she shouldn't have called. I don't.
Yeah, that. I don't know. I was happy she was would call, but I hope that her extending the olive branch is permanent. Like you said, I hope she's not going to keep flip flopping, going back and forth
Mm-hmm.
on this. And so the episode ends basically with them being in the law office. So Delilah is in her law office, and she's meeting with her new lawyer and trying to make sure if everything's okay. Harper comes and gets her and says that your father is outside. Um, her father basically tells her what's going on, and the police come in to arrest her
Clink clink, locked up.
for having those documents. And you see Delilah, she's actually, not really backing down a lot. Like she was still angry.
See? She a demon.
She was still angry at that point. I think that Delilah has a good heart. I do think that
Hmm.
she's just really angry between her marriage falling apart and her being a single mom to her actually. I don't know if you noticed when her and Tamara were having lunch and Tamara walked off, but then she stopped and put that money on the table. I think that was a like, and here you go, because I'm not gonna lose my job because of you and be broke like you.
Mm.
Because you know that Delilah does not make as much money as Tamara does.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so like I think that she has a lot going on in her life. So her anger is justified. So I don't want to tell you like paint her as an angry black woman. I do think her anger is justified, but she needs to deal with it before she runs everybody in her life off.
Yeah, because I did like her, the first two episodes. So I will agree.
Because
She
she,
doesn't
she
seem
she
like a
did
bad
have a
person.
yes, she has good intentions and she has a
Hmm.
kind heart, but
It's
she's
just the
going about
delivery.
it in the incorrect way.
Yes. It's like her delivery to the people she loved, I think it's just the worst. And so that's why I'm just like, oh girl, where your therapist at?
Exactly. She definitely needs to see a therapist
Yeah.
right away. But that was the end of episode 5. I'm very excited to see what's gonna happen with her getting
In the
arrested.
slammer.
I'm interested to see Tamara's reaction because her boss has had something to do with this.
Uh-huh.
So I'm interested to see that, to see if Delilah's going to blame Tamara.
Of course she is. Well, I don't want to say that. I'm trying to give Delilah the benefit of the
I
doubt,
think
but
she's
man,
either
she
gonna
just be
blame
going at
Tamara or
she
blame
be
her
going
dad.
at Tamara.
I think one of them is definitely gonna get the blame because that's just who Delilah is so far.
I don't know.
Um,
She got enough bad energy saved up. She might got enough for both of them.
but overall, it was a really good episode, and I'm very excited for the next one. So, you guys, keep watching. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We're still trying to build our YouTube channel. We're super small now, but hit that subscribe. Tell a friend, share it to a friend, tell them to subscribe. Make sure you comment, tell us what you like about the show so far. And we will see you next week for episode 6.
Bye.